I found the embers of my irritability stoked quite profoundly this morning. Few things can shatter the cathartic ambiance of the gym more rapidly than a bunch of man-children acting more as orangutans than humans. Many a serious gym-goer has been found with eyes rolling at the sights and sounds emanating from these boisterous throngs as they bounce whimsically from station to station, ignoring proper form and safety, slamming weights so as to draw attention, lusting after themselves in the mirrors every other moment, and spewing their profanity-littered rhetoric so loudly that even headphones at full volume fail to blunt their piercing nature. I could all but feel the smoke beginning to billow from my ears when the Lord reminded me that I was not too far removed from such foolish antics in my earlier seasons. Immediately, the words from the Corinthian epistle began to ricochet from the walls of my mind. And such were some of you. But you were washed, but you were sanctified, but you were justified in the name of the Lord Jesus and by the Spirit of our God. Granted, the preceding verses to this passage do not distinctly set out to rebuke raucous gym-goers. Rather, this verse follows a poignant list of traits common to those who will not inherit the kingdom. Lest we ever become puffed up with pride, let us never forget that it was from such a list that the Lord plucked us when at last we submitted to His glorious gospel. The Lord has brought this reminder to me many times when I have conveniently forgotten. I recall such an instance as a guitar instructor. A young man came in and requested that I teach him to shred so that he could join his church worship team to show everyone how awesome he was. Just as my palm met my forehead in frustration, those words echoed once more. And such were some of you. But you were washed, but you were sanctified, but you were justified in the name of the Lord Jesus and by the Spirit of our God. Yes, regrettably, my motivation for joining the First Praise team was also to a degree seasoned with a fleshly desire for self-exaltation. And may I now not boast that I am now living a life seasoned with the process of sanctification where such foolishness once resided. Absolutely not, for the fruits of the ongoing process of spiritual maturity has not come from my labor. Rather, it was the merciful God alone who changed this stubborn heart and, with such long suffering, repeatedly drew my eyes from the carnal to the spiritual. It was the enduring Almighty that loved and pursued, even while I misappropriated His gifts and glory. There is indeed place for righteous indignation as we survey the scenes of this fallen sphere, and yet, I would submit that a compelling to prayer for those yet to cross the threshold of salvation and thanksgiving for our own adoption into the household of faith would be far more profitable than grumbling and esteeming ourselves above said subjects. For they are obviously not beyond Abba's reach. His justification is offered to them as it was to us, who likewise merited it not. So the next time the embers of our carnal indignation are stoked, let us rather give place to the all-consuming fire, our sovereign Lord Jesus Christ. For such were we. But we were washed, but we were sanctified, but we were justified in the name of the Lord Jesus and by the Spirit of our God.